There are 20 billion reasons why the federal government had to get the decision right in selecting the F-35 as our Air Force's next fighter jet. It is by far our biggest defence purchase ever. But with 72 F-35s on the way, we're apparently getting great bang for our buck. The sales pitch boasts the jet is a flying supercomputer loaded with so much weaponry and gee-whiz stealth technology, any enemy won't see it and won't stand a chance against it. Pigs might fly, say the critics, who complain the F-35s are badly designed. The only Australians who know for sure are two RAAF pilots posted to the Arizona desert to train on the new aircraft, and they invited me along to take a high-altitude, close-up look at their deadly new toys. As dreams go, it doesn't get much better than this. Squadron leaders Andrew Jackson and David Bell are Australian Air Force pilots, posted to America to fly the brand new F-35 fighter jet. For me, this will be just as exhilarating.
Whoa!
The first journalist in the world to fly at the wingtip of the most sophisticated and contentious fighter ever built.
Have you ever been that close to another airplane before? Never.
As someone who's flown in a lot of planes, is the F-35 just another plane?
It is, but it's so much more than that. Yes, it's an aeroplane, but we haven't even begun to scratch the surface on the capability that it brings.
The F-35 is set to replace our ageing fleet of F-18 Hornets and Super Hornets. The cost, nearly $20 billion. When you're dealing with a plane that is so cutting edge, were you even able to dream about something like this?
For me, it was a new opportunity. I guess not only an aeroplane, but it's cutting edge in terms of the technology it brings, and everything else was, from a career point of view, an amazing opportunity that I was provided.
As a pilot, when that's offered to you, how do you react?
It's a rare opportunity. You know, we replace our fleets every 30, 35 years. So to be in the right time is really once in a generation, once in a lifetime. So yeah, I'd certainly jumped at it.
They jumped into a 4-year posting to Luke Air Force Base in Phoenix, Arizona, to train on the F-35. And now they're teaching pilots from the 9 allied nations in the F-35 program. This is the home of the US 61st Squadron. The top dogs, commanded by Brigadier General Scott Ployce.
The training that we do here at Luke Air Force Base is absolutely second to none. We are the world's greatest pilot training base. And when we teach those pilots how to fly and fight, we also teach them how to win.
And when you say you train the world's best, are you talking about Australian pilots too?
Absolutely.
Despite the staggering cost of the F-35, there are serious questions about getting our money's worth. Australia is buying 72 of them, but they're years behind schedule and way over budget. The worry is they're not living up to the hype. And early model F-35s off the Lockheed Martin production line were riddled with design faults. You're both aware of some of the criticism of the aircraft, that it's not as manoeuvrable as earlier model planes, that it's not as fast. I mean, is that the case, in your opinion?
The flying I've done in the aircraft indicates to me it's going to surprise people who think that way. I think as we learn to use it, I don't think we're going to be concerned about that aspect.
But there have been infuriating delays for Jacko and Belly. Even as we looked on, there was a malfunction. After an hour, Jacko had to swap to the second Australian aircraft. This time, he took off without a hitch. It turned out it was a software glitch. Someone had loaded the wrong information.
I think it's important to remember that these things are getting rectified. You can't just start up a car yard and build a Lamborghini, you know, it takes time and experience to do that.
Well, I find it interesting that most of the people that complain about the F-35 have never flown the F-35. And I think that says a lot.
And General Ployce says potential enemies have nothing in the pipeline to match the F-35. Nothing as clever, nothing as stealthy. If the F-35 was to come up against the best Russian fighter jet, the best Chinese fighter jet, who would win?
We would.
And why is that?
They're not going to know that we're there. You combine that with the fact that we train the world's greatest fighter pilots. Nobody can touch us. So we really are the world's greatest.
What makes these pioneering pilots really excited is something you can't see. The aircraft's brain, its computer system. Inside, the cockpit is top secret, no cameras allowed. But they did let us see the cockpit simulator. Compared to normal cockpits where you're surrounded by screens, switches and dials, the F-35 is surprisingly fuss-free. Just a couple of what look like iPads and not much else. Lockheed Martin's Mike Otterblad says the days of nose-to-tail dogfights are long gone. Instead, the F-35's systems scan the sky and the ground for hundreds of kilometres around, giving the pilot complete tactical superiority.
In 26 seconds, that missile is going to hit that aircraft.
Wow.
And he hasn't detected you yet.
Right. So he'll know I'm here when he's gone. The pilot's other advantage is their personal $500,000 helmet. With radars and cameras, pilots have a 360-degree view onto their visor. So they no longer see the plane, just the world beyond. Wow, so if you're actually flying the F-35 and you look down and saw no plane, that would be kind of scary,
It would be,
wouldn't it?
yes.
Your whole formation's in 3-eye jets, so tail 50-58 for you. Nothing significant, ×3.
You got it okay, Tara?
Yeah, I'm a bit slower than you. No one without a security clearance has been allowed to fly anywhere near an F-35. Until now. Now we're ready to fly. The US Air Force has agreed to give me a seat in an F-16. To fly in formation with 2 of the new fighters. The desert rumbles, the afterburner kicks in.
On the rear trail, straight initial.
And we're at 12,000 feet in 25 seconds.
There he goes.
Soon an RAAF F-35 roars alongside. Squadron leader Andrew Jackson.
It's like their friendly dolphins have come up to visit us.
Yeah. Here's Jocko out the left side.
Jeff might be dropping in on you like this.
5 miles northbound, West 16, 8,600, inbound on the...
Hey, can you tell me from where you are, your position now, what makes the F-35 so superior?
Yeah, so it's the combination of being survivable with our advanced EW systems, lethal with our weapons and our other sensors that enable us to target, and then stealth. And then finally, really the ability to continue to upgrade the aeroplane, which will keep it with the advantage it enjoys today.
Thank you. We'll see you back at the base.
See you later.
Up here, those angled lines of the F-35 make it look somehow surreal, as if I'm in a computer game. But it's real and frankly mind-boggling when you think the F-35 is costing twice as much as it cost to put man on the moon.
Here comes the turn. There's going to be a little bit of G.
Thank you for the warning.
You're welcome.
Blade 1, runway 3 right, wind calm, cleared to left.
Blade 1 right.
Finally, we're back down to Earth after a morning I'll never forget. G-forces included.
It was fantastic. There was one bit that was awful. I thought my whole face was falling off, but the rest was just beautiful. Does the boy in you still come out? Do you still get a thrill from flying this plane?
Yeah, I think it's hard not to love a job like this where you can be up at 40,000 feet, going 1.2 Mach, and you know the world's yours kind of thing. It's pretty exciting.
Jacko and Belly will fly the first 2 Australian planes home in 2018 to air bases now being custom built for the F-35. It's the largest public works expenditure in Australia since World War II.
Getting the aeroplanes home is going to be a big job, and then also planning how we're going to start operating the aircraft in early 2019 from Williamtown.
Do you feel that by being here at this level of testing and learning about the aircraft that you have a say in the final product?
We are getting a voice. We certainly feel like we've got a seat at the table there, and we're able to influence then the final product that we get when we return to Australia.
So it's all on your shoulders. If it's no good, it's your fault, right?
Is that what 60 Minutes is here for?
No.